Hello guys, I am Samkit Jain, a medical student at Mindz National Medical University, and I am an inspiring mind student. And here I am with a new video of my anatomy series, that is the cubital fossa and anatomical snuff box. And guys, I'll continue to bring such knowledgeable videos for you. For that, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at Inspiring Minds Coaching. You may see one or two questions arising from these topics, that is the cubital fossa and anatomical snuff box, in some of your exams. So let's start with the video. So our first topic is cubital fossa. Cubital fossa is basically a triangular fossa. It is a triangular fossa near your elbow. Now, it is an important landmark, an important transition landmark for transition of your arm to forearm. Now let's see what are the boundaries of this fossa. Since it is a triangular fossa, therefore every triangle has a base and an apex. Suppose that here are the lateral and medial epicondyles of your humerus, lateral and medial epicondyles, and if I draw an imaginary line from these triangles, this is the base of your fossa. This imaginary line from the lateral and medial epicondyles of humerus is the base of your triangular cubital fossa. Now on the lateral side, we have brachioradialis muscle. On the lateral side, we have brachioradialis, and on the medial side, we have pronator teres. So, on the lateral side, we have brachioradialis, and on the medial side we have pronator teres, and in between these two, this enclosed entire structure is your cubital fossa. This is your cubital fossa. Let's see that what are the structures that are in the floor of cubital fossa. So the floor of cubital fossa is made by two muscles only. That is your brachialis muscle and supinator muscle. So the floor is made by brachialis and supinator muscles. Now let's see what are the structures in the roof of cubital fossa. For that, let me just draw a very schematic diagram. Here is the base, lateral side and medial side. Now on the lateral side, you have a vein, that is cephalic vein, and a nerve running along, that is lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm. Lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm. Since it is on the lateral side, therefore lateral cutaneous nerve. So this is the cephalic vein and lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm. In the lateral side, you're talking about the structures in the roof of cubital fossa. And on the medial side, we have again a nerve, that is medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. Since it is on the medial side, therefore medial cutaneous nerve of forearm, and a vein, that is basilic vein. So medial cutaneous nerve of forearm and basilic vein. And one important point is that your cephalic and basilic vein are connected to each other by another vein known as median cubital vein. This is median cubital vein. Now this vein is very important. Why? Because median cubital vein is used in your intravenous injections. And why do we take injections from this vein only? Because now if this is a median cubital vein, then deep to this vein is your bicipital aponeurosis, and deep to bicipital aponeurosis is your brachial artery. Therefore, while taking injections from this vein, since this vein is fixed on your bicipital aponeurosis by perforations, it is fixed by perforations, Therefore, if we take injection from median cubital vein, your brachial artery will be protected. Therefore, medial cubital vein is of great clinical significance. So here is your bicipital aponeurosis, that is deep to it, and deep to bicipital aponeurosis will be a brachial artery. Let's see all these things again in a picture, in an image. So here is your lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm on the lateral side, with a nerve, with a vein, that is cephalic vein. Similarly, on the medial side you have basilic vein and medial cutaneous nerve of forearm, and your cephalic vein and basilic vein are connected to each other by here median cubital vein. And if I just zoom the diagram, you can see that here is your bicipital aponeurosis. This is your bicipital aponeurosis that is running deep to your median cubital vein. And if I just zoom more, you can see that deep to bicipital aponeurosis, here is your brachial artery. So your brachial artery will be protected if we take injections from your median cubital vein. Now let's see what are the contents of cubital vein, cubital fossa. What are the structures present inside your cubital fossa? So for the contents of cubital fossa, I have a very simple mnemonic, that is MBBS, and this mnemonic is in the series of medial to lateral structures. That is, these structures are present from medial to lateral side. Therefore, the first structure that is present is median nerve. Median nerve is the most medial structure. Lateral to median nerve is your brachial artery. In the last video I said that brachial artery also divides into a radial artery and ulnar artery. Therefore, brachial artery divides into these two branches in your cubital fossa only. Now biceps tendon and superficial branch of radial nerve. Therefore, the most medial structure is your median nerve and the most lateral structure is the superficial branch of radial nerve. Now let's see the other topic, that is anatomical snuff box. Now, anatomical snuff box is your triangular depression. It is a triangular depression on the posterolateral side of your wrist and your first metacarpal. On the posterolateral side, it is a triangular depression. Therefore, snuff box is a triangular depression on the posterolateral side of your wrist and first metacarpal. Let's see the boundaries. For that, let's have a schematic diagram. Here's your thumb. Now on the medial side, you have a tendon, that is extensor pollicis longus, and on the lateral side you have extensor pollicis brevis, and in between these two, here you have your snuff box. It is actually triangular, but since it is a schematic diagram, therefore on the medial side you have extensor pollicis longus, and on the lateral side you have extensor pollicis brevis. Now your extensor pollicis brevis is assisted by one more tendon, that is abductor pollicis longus. Abductor pollicis longus. Abductor pollicis longus is not the immediate lateral boundary. The immediate lateral boundary is your extensor pollicis brevis. Extensor pollicis brevis is just assisted by your abductor pollicis longus, and the immediate medial boundary is extensor pollicis longus. Now let's see that what are these. Okay, right now here only let me just tell you what is the content of this snuff box. The content of this snuff box is your radial artery. The content is your radial artery that runs in an oblique fashion. Radial artery, it runs obliquely in your snuff box. Now let me just tell you the structures that are in the roof of your snuff box. Now the structures that are present inside the roof are cephalic vein and superficial branch of radial nerve. So these two are the structures that are present in the roof. Now if we talk about the flow, in the flow we have various structures. First of all, we have two bones, that is a scaphoid and your trapezium bone. You can remember that since it is near to your first metacarpal, therefore near to the first metacarpal, the two carpals that you're having are scaphoid and your trapezium bone. So the first one is scaphoid and trapezium. Now in some books, some authors have also mentioned two more bony projections, that are your styloid process of radius and your base of first metacarpal. So you can easily remember them in this series. First comes the styloid process of your radius, scaphoid, trapezium, and then the base of first metacarpal. So you can also add styloid process of radius and base of first metacarpal. Now you also have tendons of distal part of the tendons of extensor carpi radialis longus and extensor carpi radialis brevis. Since it is near to the radial side, therefore extensor carpi radialis, longus and brevis. Therefore these are the structures present in your floor of anatomical snuff box. Now let's see a diagram, an image again. So here is your snuff box. Okay, so here you have extensor pollicis longus tendon, extensor pollicis longus on the medial side. Here you have extensor pollicis brevis on the lateral side, and extensor pollicis brevis is assisted by abductor pollicis longus. It is assisted by abductor pollicis longus. As you can see, the immediate boundary is your extensor pollicis brevis. It is assisted by your abductor pollicis longus. Now here is your radial artery. This is your radial artery that is running in your oblique fashion, and you can see that this is your cephalic vein. This is your cephalic radial artery was your content, and in the roof you have here your cephalic vein, plus you have one more. Let me just draw it here. That is superficial branch of radial nerve. It is also present in your roof. So this was all about your cubital fossa and anatomical snuff box. And for more such videos, you can subscribe to your YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at Inspiring Minds Coaching. Thank you so much, guys.